Spend less than you earn, invest the surplus, and avoid debt. Boom, there you go. Hey guys, what's up? It's Neil and welcome back to Roundup Save. So we recently read The Simple Path to Wealth, Your Roadmap to Financial Independence and a Rich-Free Life by J.L. Collins. And I gotta say, it's a spicy one. J.L. Collins, if you don't know, is one of the main voices in the FIRE/FI community, alongside other people like Mr. Money Mustache, as well as the Mad Fientist. And if you're unfamiliar with what FIRE/FI stands for, it stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. And Jenna and I did a full video all about the FIRE community and trying to debunk, basically, is it BS or not, in another video, which I will link down below. In short, The Simple Path to Wealth is, in my opinion, a must read, whether you like money, have money, earn money, anything really to do with money, which to be honest, I think is probably most of us. So before we get into a deeper summary of the book, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button, as well as subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. And if you've read The Simple Path to Wealth, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I would love to hear some of your key takeaways from the book. So in short, the book is really broken up into two major sections. And the first section really focuses more so on how to think about money and really makes the case for why it's really important to be saving as well. The second aspect of the book really goes more into the technical aspects of investing, as well as sort of how you should be thinking about retirement, various types of accounts, and how those break down, like the 401k, HSA, IRA, and even more into, as you get closer to your retirement years, how should you be rebalancing, if you have money, say, invested in primarily in stocks, how would you then rebalance that to be more in bonds, for example? So there's a lot of really good actionable advice that the book provides. One of the best parts about the book, in my opinion, too, is the fact that J.L. Collins demystifies and sort of debunks, some really common investing myths and also some myths about the stock market and how it behaves. And he takes a really, comprehensive and sort of historical view on things too. Jenna and I, we recently did a video on common investing myths that I'll link down below. And some of those points, they kind of overlap with some of the things that J.L. Collins talks about in the book. One term you'll hear again and again throughout the book is total market index funds. J.L. Collins is completely obsessed with them, and in particular, one by the name of VTSAX. Now, if you're already keyed into the FIRE/FI community, VTSAX is like the biggest thing since sliced bread. J.L. Collins and most people, to be honest, in the FIRE community are completely obsessed with the creator of VTSAX, Jack Bogle, as well as his company Vanguard, and for good reason as well. However, in my opinion, I think there's probably too much emphasis that goes only into one company, being Vanguard, and my approach is really more diversification across institutions. But with that being said, I am now investing pretty heavily into total market index funds. And I'm not necessarily doing that through Vanguard, but I'm now doing it through Charles Schwab in a really equivalent, kind of account. And for those of you that may not be familiar with what a total market index fund is, well, it's basically like a basket of all of the companies in the US stock market. And by nature of basically buying, one unit or one share of a total market index fund, you're buying into all of those companies. So it's the complete opposite of investing into, specific companies, specific stocks. And the theory here is because you are, basically investing in all these companies in one lump sum in a nice convenient package of a total market index fund, you are then tracking to the behavior of the entire stock market, basically. And you're getting the returns that the market would see over time. One of the main points here that J.L. Collins, reiterates a lot in the book is the stock market continuously goes up. And so by having your money invested over a consistent and a long period of time, that's really where you're going to start to see massive amounts of returns, but it's really about knowing which game you're playing. Fiddling with your investments, and sort of pulling money out of one company and putting it out into another in terms of stocks or even ETFs, basically that's been correlated to show losses over time. And really, there's been numerous studies now that have shown that index funds, they widely, will beat managed funds over a long period of time. But really all you need to know is that total market index funds are relatively safe when it comes to investing, and they basically try to mirror the 8, let's say to 12% return of the stock market annualized. J.L. Collins is also really famous for coining the term self-cleansing. Basically, self-cleansing means that if companies are, performing really poorly and they go out of business or they fall out of certain indices, they're no longer counted towards that basket of companies that you're buying into in the total market index fund. And so by nature of that self-cleansing happening, you really don't have to make too many investment decisions that you normally, might think, like investing in a specific stock of one company and then rebalancing that to another. You don't have to do any of that. And not to mention the fees associated with buying into index funds are minuscule compared to that of ETFs or individual stocks. I'm talking like 0.015%, compared to sometimes I've seen 0.5% for some ETFs. And that's not an exaggeration. So when you're buying into an index fund, very small amounts of your money are actually going towards paying off those fees. Jenna recently did a video on investing in index funds using Charles Schwab, which honestly, I think it's all you gotta need to know, and I will link that one down below. Super easy, super simple, and will get you started right away in investing in index funds. I mentioned this point a little before, but another big theme that J.L. Collins brings up again and again in the book is don't try to time the market. And by don't try, I mean like literally don't do anything. Like don't worry at all about market volatility. The stock market goes up always over time. And there's been, a pretty volatile history that the stock market has endured. Wars, recessions, a depression. And so that's really a major point here in terms of don't try to time the market at all, you will lose. The key here is really to be a long-term investor, and that means investing consistently and over a long period of time by letting your money stay in the market untouched. And that includes throughout upturns and downturns in the market. So getting back to those index funds we were just talking about, one of the really nice things about them is you can set up automatic investing. So basically every month I just have a portion of my income going to my Charles Schwab account. I don't even think about it, and it gets automatically invested into a total market index fund. So that way I'm investing consistently, and again, I don't have to worry about it. So things are just kind of automated for me, and over time my money will grow as the market, does its thing basically. Automatic investing is only a feature of mutual funds, and index funds qualify as a mutual fund. So this is not a feature that you would see commonly with individual stocks or ETFs. So of course, there's a lot more to the book than just those few points that I talked about, but these were really some of the key takeaways that, stuck with me, and I wanted to share them with you. Overall, a great read with some very, very actionable advice that I've found benefit in my own life, and I'm sure you would as well. If you found this video helpful, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, as well as subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. All right, guys, until next time, thanks for watching and take care.